Hey, howdy, hey y'all, Leanna here. Today is a very special day, and this is a very special video dedicated to Christopher. Today is his birthday, and he is 40 years old. 40. Let me say it again. Christopher is 40. Can you believe I have a 40-year-old son? I can't believe I have a 40-year-old son. Anyway, today in this video we are going to celebrate Christopher for his birthday, and I'm going to do a look for him. I asked him what his all-time favorite lure was, because I was going to take the colors of that lure and do an eye look, and he sent me lures that were white. I was like, of course he didn't know why I wanted them, but anyway, he finally sent me some that have a little bit of color in them, and when I saw them, and I will put the picture of the two that he sent me, his two favorite. When I saw them, the first thing that I thought about was this Nomad Cartagena Mágica this palette right here, because of the green and those oranges, and this has some pink in it. The only color that it's missing is blue, but for the blue I have my Makeup Geek. This of course is discontinued because sadly Makeup Geek went out of business, but this blue right here I think matches the blue in that picture. And thank goodness one of those lures looks like it's got a little bit of brown in it, so I don't have any brown. There's no brown. I thought maybe there was a brown, but there is not a brown in this palette, but that's okay. We are going to do a look, and I'm going to talk about Christopher and show you some pictures of him when he was a baby and growing up. So let me look at the pictures of these lures again. I think I'm going to start out here with this light shade called Alpha. And the first picture that I'm going to show you is a picture of me holding Chris. I believe that he is approximately, I don't know, he might be 6 to 9 months old in that picture. I'm not 100% positive. And as you can see, I look extremely young, but I was, in that picture, I am 18. I had Christopher just before my 18th birthday. This shade looks like a satin. And that picture was taken at my grandmother's house in her dining room at Christmas. As you can see, Christopher was a very happy baby. He was not planned, as I'm sure you can imagine. Being 17, I was way too young to be having babies. I think sometimes young people don't realize the responsibility of having kids. You are now responsible for building an adult, and that is one heck of a job. And I'm here to tell you that I was not very good at it. I was way too young to have a clue as to what it was I was doing or what I needed to do. But Christopher was a cute little baby. This next picture was also taken around Christmas time at my Aunt Virginia's house. And he is just eyeballing that bottle, isn't he? And I'm just looking like, somebody please take this baby. So now I'm going to go here into this shade, because that one lure does have a little bit of orange in it. My grandmother loved her some Christopher. She was just crazy about that little boy. So I can't pronounce the name of that shade, but this next shade that I'm going into, which is kind of a yellowish green, this is Toda La Vida. And I'm going to put that in my inner corner. So the next picture, if any of y'all remember Olin Mills, that picture was taken in '84. I can see the date on it. Christopher was 2 years old. Such a cute kid with all that curly hair. You know, back then you went and got your Olin Mills pictures taken. I have quite a few of the Olin Mills pictures that my grandmother had done of herself. I don't know how this is going to turn out, y'all. Am I going to look like a fishing lure when I'm done? I don't know when this next picture was taken. That is Chris and Brandy's Christmas picture. I'm going to assume that Chris was about 6 or 7. Brandy was 2 or 3. She might have been 4, somewhere around in there. And so now I'm going to go into this deeper orangey color, and it is Ultras. It's Dimensions, Outer Dimensions, but I don't know how to pronounce it. I can read it, but I don't know how to pronounce it. And I'm going to use that to deepen up this outer corner. This picture, which is a little out of order, but this picture obviously taken in the wintertime, and he sure is bundled up like an Eskimo. That picture was taken at his Aunt Sissy's house, his dad's sister. I bet he was hot. Remember being a kid and being bundled up and you were hot and sweaty. This is one of Chris's school pictures. I don't know what grade he was in. I need some pink because I see a little pink on the tail of one of them. But I don't know what shade I want to go into. That really doesn't look like a pink. It kind of does, but it looks more like a peachy. But that's a pretty shimmer. Of course, look at this shimmery orange. Del Amor is what that is called. That is very pretty. I'm gonna have to put that in the center of my eye. Have to. I didn't think about it when I sat down with this blue shirt on that this was probably not going to match my shirt, but I don't really care. I'm just playing and creating a fishing lure look. I mean, does it matter what you're wearing when you're creating a fishing lure look? That's really pretty. And then we have all of the random pictures of Christopher fishing, because there's 2 things that Christopher loves to do. Fishing is one of them, and the other is playing games on the computer. He's a big gamer. I'm going to put this color in my inner lid because that is a green shimmer. Oof. Christopher loves to fish. He keeps talking about, I got some fallout going on with that. He keeps talking about starting a YouTube channel about fishing, and I keep trying to encourage him to do so, but he has not. He has not done that yet. He does have a channel here on YouTube, but he's not really active on it. So lots of random pictures of Christopher, and I'm looking over here because I have them on my computer. Lots of random pictures of Christopher fishing. And then there's the picture of him holding his niece, my granddaughter Kyrie. I love the look on his face holding her. I believe that was the first time he held her. There's a picture of Chris and Brandy together when Brandy got married. And I love this picture. I love this picture right after he got his hair cut. He had hair, like long, long hair. And I finally talked him into going to get a cut. And so this is his Justin Bieber haircut. Oh, gosh. Alright, now what am I doing? I gotta get some pink in there somewhere. I am going to put the pink and the blue on my lower lash. I think, let me get my spray. I think I am going to put, ooh, I don't know how this is going to go. We'll put this in the outer corner. This next picture is a picture of when Chris was in the hospital. He was working with his dad. His dad was working as a brick mason and Chris was a laborer. Oh gosh, I don't know what he was, 18, 19, 18 I think. And he was 15 feet up in the air. And Chris is a big boy. When he was born, he weighed 9 pounds, 10 ounces, and he was 21 3/4 inches long. I'll never forget. The doctor told me that I had had a football player. So Chris is over 6 feet tall, and he's a big boy, so he was working as a laborer with his dad, 15 feet up in the air, and he stepped on a scaffolding board that had a crack in it, and it broke, and he fell 15 feet. Fortunately, they were supposed to have poured the concrete, but something had happened, and they had not poured the concrete. Had he have landed on concrete, he would not be here. He almost was not here. He was in the hospital, I don't know how long, 45 days. He was in the hospital for a long time, and the doctor flat out told me he was not coming home. He broke several of the nodules off the vertebrae in his back. He broke his wrist really, really bad. He was in such bad shape that they didn't even set his arm. They were more concerned about his other problems. He hit the ground so hard that he tore the airway going into one of his lungs, and he had to be put on a trach, and he was on oxygen so long that they were concerned about brain damage and ARDS, and just, it was awful. It was just awful. And he was 3 hours from home, so for most of the time that he was in the hospital, I would go to work because I didn't want to lose my job. I mean, of course, right after the accident happened, I didn't go to work, but after a while I had to go back to work, so I got up and went to work, worked 8 hours, drove 3 hours to the hospital. Fortunately, there were organizations that got me a hotel, so I spent the night there, got up super early, got ready, went to work. And I'll never forget the day that I walked into ICU and the nurse met me at the door with Chris in a wheelchair. It was an amazing moment because that was something that I thought that I would never see. So this is a picture of him in the hospital. He had the oxygen sensor. He thought it was a laser gun. He kept trying to shoot people with it. I'm going to go now into this blue and put that on the inner part of my lid with a little small brush. Okay, so I'm going to put some mascara on and a lip, and I'll be right back to show you a few more pictures of Christopher. Lashes are done. I did a wing because I remember once I told Christopher to make sure that his eyeliner was as black as his soul and his wings were sharp as something. I don't know. They didn't turn out too terribly bad, and of course the Nubian Earth Clay lipstick, because I mean, it's amazing. So the next picture that I want to show you, his Dapper Dan look. Christopher has an amazing personality. He's a lot of fun. He's very funny. He does all of these voices. What is it when you mimic? Oh, why I can't think of what the word is. Hilarious. And he just keeps his sister and I in stitches all the time. There's a picture of my grand spider, which he doesn't have anymore, but that was I think it was called a bottle blue tarantula that he got, and I'm terrified of spiders, but he's crazy about snakes and spiders. Typical boy. You can see by all of the pictures just how much fun he is, and he loves cats just like I do. You can see the picture of him with the kitty cats. And then the last two pictures that I'll show you is the one of him. I was at work and I got a text, which he would text me quite frequently when I was at work. He was staying with me. This was when I was still in Virginia before I moved to Missouri. And he sent me a random text of this picture. This picture. This is my son wearing my clothes. He has on my shirt. I don't know, but that shirt might have looked better on him than it did on me. And of course he has on my bandana because, hippie Leanna likes to wear bandanas sometimes. So I cannot tell you how hard I laughed. And he was not very happy with me when I reposted that on Facebook. But it was hilarious. And then the very last picture is Christopher today. That is my caveman son, my big burly boy that gets all of his makeup tips. Maybe I need to start giving him hair care tips too, because his hair is looking a little wild and all of that beard and stuff. But so for those of you that don't know why I give Christopher a makeup tip at the end of all of my videos, is because when I started my channel, I said, Christopher, your mama has started a beauty channel and I need you to go subscribe and watch all my videos to help me get started. And he rolled his eyes at me and he said, sure, Mom, because you know I need beauty tips. And I said, yes, you do. I'm going to give you a beauty tip at the end of every video. And I have done that for the almost 2 years. Every once in a blue moon, I skip one just to see if y'all are paying attention. And normally I'll get some messages, where's Christopher's tips? So make sure y'all are sticking around to the end of the video so that you can hear Christopher's makeup tips. So, Christopher, I hope you like your, what is it, Berkeley Copo, Chapo, that lure that you like, the Berkeley one that's your favorite, the Chop. I hope you like your look inspired by your favorite lures for your birthday. I hope you know how much your mama loves you. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have a clue. I was way too young to be having children. I was not a good mama of little kids, but I feel like I'm a pretty good mama of adults. I mean, hell, I'm giving you makeup tips. Every son needs a mama that's going to give him makeup tips, right? I love you, son, a lot. A lot. I hope that you're having a fantastic day. Hopefully you went fishing. Maybe you did some kind of amazing makeup look before you went. Anyway, I'm rambling. It's just very important to me that you know how much I love you. I love you very, very much. So, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chris. Happy birthday to you. Mama loves you, boo.